For cheap and reliable MT, head over to aoa.com and use coupon code JACOB for 3% off. Ben Simmons is an NBA player for the Philadelphia 76ers with a couple years of experience. In the league, many people have differentiating opinions on him. Some think he has superstar potential, some think he's already there, and some people think that he is going to somewhat bust. However, in NBA 2K MyTeam, since he has came in the game in 2K17, he has been one of the top meta players. In the league, he often plays a somewhat point forward role for the Sixers, but in the game, he generally can play the point guard position, which gives him a huge advantage at 6'10". Today, we are going to look at the history of Ben Simmons in NBA 2K MyTeam. Ben Simmons got his first card in MyTeam in 2K17. This was technically his rookie year, but he did not play in the league this season as he was out with injury. The one card he got this season was a gold card, and he did come in listed as a small forward at 6'10". This is before position locks, and he did have 90 speed, making him an interesting card. He never did get updated as he did not play in the league this year, but nonetheless, this was foreshadowing what was to come in the game mode, considering he was a 6'10" player with 90 speed. In 2K18, Ben Simmons started off the year with a silver card, but he got many upgrades very quickly. He then got a gold card for a moments, and then a sapphire, and then a ruby, and then an amethyst. All of these cards were generally in the meta at the point in time of their release, as he was a 6'10" point guard with quick speed. This is before the position locks. People kind of played him all over the floor, but to this stage he did not have a 3-ball rating, and it was sitting at 52 on the amethyst card. That was up until they released this Diamond Ben Simmons that had an 82 shot 3. At 6'10", he had 97 speed and came with 10 Hall of Fame badges, and then finally came the Pink Diamond Ben Simmons that you could attain from the auction house with this card, or potentially through a locker code with this card. These two cards were essentially clones of each other, but nonetheless, these were both very, very good and often used as the top point guards in the game. We can see some gameplay footage here just how glitchy this card was in game.
I've never really taken them with my point guard. Like, I've only taken what, 4 3-pointers this whole game, and that's it. As we're going to take one here, and that's a terrible shot. Do not take that, but he finally makes one. He's seriously turning up for me in this fourth quarter, and I'm not complaining about it. As we go into the post, that should be buckets every single day. And this will be point number 60 if he's able to get another score here. So we do his drill move, and that was so nice. His signature one is money, and he gets the dunk after.
In 2K19, Ben Simmons did not get near as many cards as he did in 2K18, but arguably had the same kind of impact in-game. He started off the year as a sapphire card, which was used quite a bit, up until he did get a moments card for his amethyst. Neither of these cards could shoot really, in general, but once he finally did get a galaxy opal, it was practically game over. He was a 6'10" player. This was still before position locks, who came with 19 Hall of Fame badges, 88 shot 3, and 97 speed. We can hear DBG's take on this card to just kind of get a clue of how good he was really at the time of his release.
So anyway, that's the video. Ben Simmons is probably a top 2 card in my team with the Galaxy Opal Giannis. It's that good. Like, it is legitimately that good. Better than Paul George. Way better than anything else I've used. Better than Bob Pettit. Better than Cowens. Better than Michael Jordan. I think he's much better than Michael Jordan's even a signature limited, because just animations wise and the fact he's 4 inches taller. But yeah, unbelievable card. Absolutely unbelievable. Definitely worth locking in the collection if you have all the cards.
In 2K20, Ben Simmons had quite a few different cards. He started off the year as a sapphire, but this is right when position lock came into the game. He could only play power forward or small forward. Unless you were to do a glitch that was at the start of the year to move him to point guard, you could not play him there. That glitch was quickly patched. And then he did get a Ruby Moments card. This one still could not shoot the 3-ball very well with a 47 shot 3 or play point guard. And then he did get finally a point guard eligible card as a Diamond glitch player. This one had a 65 shot 3, came out sometime around January, I believe, right before 250k. Some people used him, but a lot of people still opted to use smaller point guards that could shoot the ball better. And then finally, we got a Galaxy Opal card here for him after we got this other Diamond, which was the game changer himself, because people started to learn about this right here, which was simply the Pro 8 moving crossover. The Pro 8 moving crossover was super glitchy in game. I will have some footage of that after we discuss a couple more things about this card. He did eventually get an Evo that brought his 3-point shot rating up from a 77 to a 90 overall. And then finally, at the end of the year, we did get the NBA is back Ben Simmons, which was just absolutely ridiculous with the stats that he had. He could play point guard as well. So this card was incredible. This was by far the best point guard that we had in all of NBA 2K20. Once he came out, he was by far the meta card to use at the point guard position. But to touch on the Pro 8 thing, he was one of the few point guards that could actually Pro 8, and his Pro 8 was arguably the best in the game. It was essentially a non-stop moving in between the legs move, which was impossible to steal the ball or rip.
I know this video might not be a liked video in the community, but to be honest with you guys, we're a month away from 2K21, guys. We are a month away, so I'm going to be kind of showing you guys, right? Here's a tween that a lot of people do, just simply like this, which isn't hard to do. You're not holding any buttons, and you're just flicking the stick back and forth. Now, that's what I did for the longest time. And then I was like, okay, and then people started dribbling through my body, my defense's body. People literally started dribbling through my body, and I'm like, I can't do that. The key is, this is the sauce right here. Okay, the key is while you're doing this, to hold L2. Because when you hold L2 while you're doing that, you can't be touched. It's literally untouchable. You will not be touched. It's impossible to be touched. So if you 5 out with Ben Simmons and just do this, your guy will not be touched. I promise you he won't be touched. And I'll show you guys a gameplay.
And that finally brings us to 2K21, this year's game. He started off the year as a Sapphire that played the small forward and power forward position. This card was just decent based on the fact that he was 6'10 with a high speed rating right on day 1, but quickly he was outclassed. And then he did get a Heat Check and Series 2 card as an 88 overall, which wasn't really that big of a deal. And actually before that, we did get a 93 overall Ben Simmons. He couldn't play point guard, and he also couldn't really shoot the 3-ball. So some people ran this card, but he wasn't exactly the most popular card in the whole entire game by any stretch of the imagination. But finally, just today in the Inferno set, we got our first true point guard Ben Simmons with a 96 overall rating. This card only does come with a 55 shot 3, but this card is still going to be very, very good. As you can see, his offense is 99, his defense is 99, obviously he's still 6'10", and now that he can play the point guard position, he is going to be pretty unreal if you know how to use him. Some of the signature moves he has are pretty good. He doesn't have a size up escape package that's exactly the meta, but they did put his jump shot on quick, so if you know how to use this card, he is going to be incredibly valid. It's hard to say if this card will become the meta in 2K21. It's also hard to say how long we will have to wait up until we get a Ben Simmons that can play point guard and shoot the 3-ball, but I would almost guarantee, I would bet my bottom dollar that we will see a card that does that sometime around March or April. Anyways guys, it's Unbeatable Jacob. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm out.